all hail the 69-year-old version, Sir Richard Bronson. Who that, you may ask? Just the billionaire, money-making, long-haired, surfing-looking dude who's got a bunch of planes, motorbikes, race cars, trains, spaceships, his own island, and basically every kind of toy you can think of. He also makes comic books and owns 400 other companies, maybe even more, no biggie. He likes to have fun, a little kiddo that just happened to get rich, like $4 billion rich. I'm sorry, in fact, he didn't just happen to get rich, so it's my bad there. He's been following a simple list of principles in his life that made this all happen again and again and again. And these principles are exactly what I'm going to teach you in this short story, because what makes us unique as human beings is the ability to learn from others. Our collective knowledge is what guided us to where we are right now. Without people we can learn from, it is guaranteed that we won't get as far as we'd like to. So fasten your seatbelts and enjoy your video.
Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder, or better known as ADHD.
So the story starts when Richard was born in a small district in the southeast of London. His mother was an air hostess and his father a barrister. You see, Richard wasn't doing so good at school. His parents were worried that he had a learning disability. And at 8 years old, the doc told him he had dyslexia. Dyslexia is like being 8 beers in at the end of a good night, but all the time. In fact, I have a friend with dyslexia and he told me he literally sees letters upside down. That's how hard it is. And to top it off, with an undiagnosed ADHD at that time, things didn't look pretty at all. But that didn't really faze Richard because his head was somewhere else, out there in the real world. At 15, he had just about enough of all that shit and being called the dumbest person in school, and he said sayonara to the academic life and decided to go to school of hard knocks, which surely made some people think he was even dumber than they'd imagined. Stay in school, they said.
I was pretty hopeless at school.
Sure. But don't judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, because with his pockets full of hopes and dreams, he created Student Magazine. Kinda ironic because he was a dropout. The magazine was full of cool stuff like the Vietnam War and the stuff he liked to jam to. Pretty different from your Dungeons and Dragons and how to French kiss kinda stuff. Soon enough though, Branson really needed the money to pay for postage and electricity for the business. You know what they say, no money, no honey. So how was he going to get this magazine out? No one had a fucking clue, until Mama Richard Bronson found an extremely rare and priceless necklace outside her house that she then, after not finding its owner, sold for 100 British pounds. Wait, that's it? That's all she got for it? Think about it. That's way back in the heydays. When your dad could buy you gum for 5 cents? Yeah, so 100 times something plus something else divided by whatever makes $2,000 now. So with that money he paid off his landlord and finally stopped working like they did in the medieval times in the dark with candles. People actually loved his magazine and called it revolutionary. Then at 21, he decided to roll with the big guys, following his passion, which was music. He created what he named Virgin Records. And that's because he and his partner didn't get laid yet and they were damn proud of it. So like that necklace that old lady drops in the water in the Titanic, this story starts off with a gold necklace. Make a fart and turn it into magic. Wait! We made it sound way too easy, right? Well, actually it wasn't. Let me go back to his childhood a bit to explain how his ADHD and dyslexia really affected him. So just like me and you or your children, it was super hard for Richard to stay focused. Unlike Peter. Peter, the kid who kinda acts like a robot and remind teachers about last week's homework. Yeah, him. Fuck him, am I right? Cause he farts A+s and sorry, where was I going with this? Oh yeah. To put things simply, we don't have the same concentration regulation ability as neurotypicals. So if you have ADHD, then your attention is probably divided by the birds singing, the clicking of your blue pen, the love letters sent between Jessica and Kevin, and the bubblegums bubbles that Jeanette was blowing. But with dyslexia crippling Richard even more, he never understood how you got to 4 from doing 2 times 2. Dyslexia was his saboteur, and ADHD was the companion in the plot of making him fail every class of grade 2. Which unfortunately got him titled the thickest kid in school. You know, kids can be tough. And unfortunately, some stupid teachers can be worse. But after he dropped out thanks to the freedom and trust his parents provided him with, instead of trying to shape his life, he soon came to the realization that his brain difference was his blessing. He finally realized he's a fish that was trying to climb a tree rather than swim freely and smoothly in the ocean. He's so damn proud of his difference that he mentions dyslexic thinking as a skill in his LinkedIn profile. It's a true story, you know? He embraced it and owned it. And with that kind of thinking, comfort and acceptance of who he is, and most importantly, acknowledging his weaknesses such as procrastination amongst several other things, he mastered the art of delegation. A super old secret that when mastered and used to its full potential can make a man with 2 crippling learning disabilities, or should I say incompatible with the standard and current teaching methods worldwide learning styles, be at the head of 400 companies.
What's remarkable about Richard is he has created multiple billion-dollar enterprises that have nothing to do with each other. That's extremely rare.
Yes, you heard that right. 400.
You've started over 400 companies.
I'm saying it again. In fact, without delegation, this video wouldn't exist. Because of Richard Bronson, I'm perfectly okay with the idea that I can make this video. I've been procrastinating on it for months because I thought it should be done by me and I should save money and do it myself. But after some quick math, I realized my time is better spent coaching people with ADHD individually and then using that money to impact even more people who won't have the opportunity nor the resources to work with me now by creating those videos. By the way, quick promo time, I gotta pay the bills. Guys, I'm glad you made it so far and I'm excited to tell you that I have some big news for you. Right now at this very moment, we're taking clients again in through our coaching program. So if you qualify, actually you have to apply and answer some questions. If you qualify, you will have one free 60 minutes call with us in which we will help you find the best version of yourself and the most focused version of yourself. Basically, our goal is to unwrap that ADHD high performer in you. We want to find the version you've never even recognized in yourself. We haven't done it once or twice, we've done it several times. So click the link down below, you'll have a free call with us. Then if you qualify, we'll be able to work with you. I hope you enjoyed the rest of the video. So guys, what's this dude's deal? I mean, honestly, dyslexia, or what some people might call superpower, you can go from an idea to a very profitable business in 4.5 seconds. Like a hot red Ferrari goes from 10 to 120 kilometers per hour in 4.5 seconds. How does he get there? Like I just said, with the magic of delegation. He can think about the bigger picture, throw in all the right people in the mix and move on to the next business. Seems easy and real simple, right? Because it is. His dyslexia forced him to simplify everything. He is able to get his message across very clearly. He doesn't use words such as hence or concurrently or whatever. And you know, no one has time to check the dictionary. So he gets an idea, takes the right people, explains to them everything in practical language, and they all get it. And with ADHD, he's able to move on to the next thing and do it all over again. That's how you fucking do it, ladies and gentlemen. 1, 2, 47, 123, 259, 365, 400, baby! You know, quoting him, he said, "We see something that frustrates us and we'll think, Christ, we can do it better and we'll dive in." The stars of his Cash Baby, Virgin Atlantic, came from him flying on British Airways and being served a frozen chicken leg that looked more like a pile of brown mashed potatoes. There were no movies or any sort of entertainment. And what bugged him more? The flight attendants that all looked like they hate their job so much they were going to collectively jump one after the other out of the airplane. So he was like, shit, this fucking sucks. So he created an airline with all the passengers had vodka to swallow down their Adhd-oersoldversion and some movies to watch on the back seat. He was so ahead of his time that he played movies 6 years before his competition decided to. There you go, version. This golden but very simple equation has led him to the ultimate success. His profitable companies are successful and make him loads of cash money because they are so different than the others. They're crazy different, like Branson himself. When he wanted to make a train company, he wanted it to go even faster than an airplane, like getting you from point A to point B and hell, even to point G in no time. Just like his typical brain. Let's talk about Virgin Communications. It was the first mobile company to offer pay-as-you-go. You pay what you use, that's it. No more $100 bills in the mail. I know some phone companies that still cost people more than their food. Virgin works in a completely different lingo. They're one of the few companies that think about those nitty-gritty details that only us, the lazy-ass ADHDers, think about. But when it comes to neurotypicals, they can usually deal with inconvenience. Therefore, they don't really think they need to change it. But once they try out the better stuff, they can't go back again. I mean, no TV in the airplane? Who cares? I care. Otherwise, I'd fucking die in there. I can't spend my time doing nothing. It's torture. Okay, enough flowers for Branson. We all know now embracing our differences is the real deal. And if that's not enough for me to convince you about this, hit that subscribe button because we'll be going over Einstein, Ikkel's founder, and hundreds of other people just like our boy Richie. If I may, just a side note, but that's a little secret though. You know what else made those people massively successful? Destroying that like button. Do you know why? Because if you do, we'll be successful and in turn, we'll make more content that'll make you successful. I believe it's a win-win. So anyway, now we also know that he created some brands that didn't quite make the cut. So what is cool about all of this is, in an era of always trying to maintain that perfect image, this era of Instagram perfection, look how amazing I am and everything I do is an A+. Richard Bronson doesn't give two fucks about that. He shows his failures with pride and he talks about them like beautiful projects that did not receive the greatest treatment like his other brands have. Virgin Cola, for instance, was the Kool-Aid of Britain. It had kicked Coca-Cola's ass in the battle of soft drinks. It had gained a strong brand recognition and market share in all of the UK, but nowhere else in the world. It did not get the proper amount of marketing, and he concentrated too much on a specific market and did not give enough energy, unfortunately, to compete in the market at a global level. So unfortunately, Virgin Cola fizzled out and he closed the brand. What else? Oh yeah, Lil Richie did a premiere as a drag queen and he looked good at it. Not quite like the rest of the company, but Virgin Brides was a marriage of two genius ideas. Planning a wedding could get boring as shit and most brides turn into bridezillas out of stress, and the dresses that were gorgeous and beautiful were Vera Wang and Oscar de la Renta. But if you don't have a year's salary to spend on a dress, well, you'll either look like a train wreck, get it? Or like you forgot about your dress in the budget and decided to make it out of your mom's curtain. So Virgin Brides was affordable and made you look hot as hell on your wedding day, so your future spouse will not second guess their decision of spending the next few decades with you. So what's the catch here? Why didn't it work out? Well, to quote Richard, I think because there aren't many Virgin Brides. It never really took off, Or maybe it was just the picture that put people off. I mean, look at this picture, guys. That decision of him dressing as a bride was because he wanted to treat every company of his like a separate company. He was not going to finance one with the other. He wanted all of them to be self-sufficient in their marketing budgets and basically all aspects of the brand. Okay, one last one, because we don't want to make him feel bad either. There's Virgin Cosmetics, which was a massive ADHD brand. It was all over the place. A second they were here, the next second they were there, and eventually they were nowhere. Sounds familiar? Yeah, it does, because that's the story of the majority of my life and also yours. Like, I literally don't even know what happened to it anymore. Anyway, the point being is that he kept trying all of his new ideas. Some failed, some haven't, but he kept going. Who fucking cares? And if you're thinking, well, he has the money and resources to do that, he can try them out and fail, no problem. Sorry to break it to you, but his student magazine also failed. You know, the first thing he did. But he kept going and learning from failures, and that's what you should do. Now, when you do this, who knows, you might become one of those people who impact our world positively. You know, a high percentage of ADHDers and dyslexic people are more likely to drop out. You know, dropping out the wrong way, not like Mark Zuckerberg or Steve Jobs dropping out. They get addicted to drugs, become depressed, and develop dangerous mental illnesses that nobody really considers as a gift. No successful person would ever tell you, you know, my depression is a gift. Because if they say so, they're not really depressed. Get it? At least not anymore. Unless they tell you, my depression was a gift when talking about it in retrospective because it made them make a choice that changed their life at some point. And all of this is due to the trauma that they face when growing up. Like all of this thing that ADHDers and dyslexic people deal with, it's hard, man. You know, not being able to fit in the system, being considered like a hopeless case, that's tough. However, when we teach other children and even adults with ADHD and dyslexia that they need to embrace their differences and see if they could use it for their advantage and even change their environment and help them find the one in which they could thrive in, then we're more likely to see more Richard Bronsons, because it's all in the mindset. People who are working their asses off so that we could do great things, such as Virgin Galactic, a company that has one goal: make space travel possible and cheap for people like us. Or even Virgin Hyperloop, that is literally trying to reinvent transportation to eliminate the barriers of distance and time. Or Virgin Unite, that fights for the LGBT rights. All of this wouldn't even exist if his parents decided to force him or even beat him to get good grades and become a doctor or lawyer. You see, I was depressed too, and solely because of my ADHD, because I thought I had no hope to make anything out of my life. But in 2015, everything changed. I read an article in Forbes that was about to change my life. You can see my excitement in this picture just by looking at it. ADHD, the entrepreneur's superpower. The author of this article had no idea what he did to my life. And I have no idea what I would do to a bunch of you guys watching. If you want to keep the ripple effect, feel free to share the video and get it to as many people as possible. As many people who need this, especially. Maybe post it in an ADHD group or send it to your favorite ADHD influencer. Comment your thoughts or like the video. All of this help. Anything that you think would help, because we don't know how our collective effort would impact the world. I could start several companies that would change the world, or maybe you could, or maybe even 25 other people who watch this too. And 100 more people who will inspire 35 other people in the next 20 years. Who knows, the world works in a magnificent way. Alright, now it's time to stop the inspiration and motivation speech. Let's get to what we can learn from him and the principles that shaped his life and that can shape yours. So first of all, we are different. We know that. Our teachers have told us that. Our friends have, and so has that random chick that sits behind you that says, "You're fucking annoying with all your wacky fidgets. Can you just calm the fuck down?" Anyway, ADHD brains are superhuman brains that are not like neurotypical people. We think about 20 times faster than the generic human, and I'm not even exaggerating. Okay, I was just joking. Maybe I am exaggerating a little. Richard Bronson has taught so much, he's taught 400 times more than your regular entrepreneur, making him super rich and successful. So use that power, use that insane creativity and observation and turn it into gold, because it's possible. Learn how to manage that with incredible skills like delegation, minimalism, and biohacking, which is what we literally help people with. The second thing is stay true to yourself, always. Our differences are what makes us beautiful people. Richard was a sup man, loving hippie. He still is to this day. He created the Elders, a group of exceptional thinkers and doers that have a lifetime of wisdom under their belt that tackle life-size problems, pollution, economy, etc. This was even run by Nelson Mandela. Lil Richie also promised back in 2007 that he was going to invest all of the profits from his transportation companies to the research and creation of better and more efficient fuel to fight global warming. He loves the planet and loves nature, so he wants to conserve it and give it all the love that it needs and deserves, because we haven't been able to kind to it, and he wants to change that just like he changed the game of entrepreneurship. The third thing is have the ride of your life. Enjoy the process, enjoy your fucking business, and enjoy your entrepreneurial route. Keep in mind that Rome wasn't built in one day. Dress up as a bride to promote your brand. Send a big air balloon basically telling your competition to suck it. The same guys who tried to end you. Yeah, I'm looking at you, British Airways. Take calculated risks and don't say no to new opportunities. Try out your new ideas. Be the transportation tool that takes them from an abstraction in the realm of your imagination to reality. And the fourth thing, don't be afraid to change your environment when it's clearly not made for you. Because again, don't judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree. Remember, if you're not sure about this decision, get help. Get an outsider's perspective. Just be sure to get it from someone successful and happy, someone you look up to, someone who does what you want to be doing. But also make sure that what you want to be doing is not just an idea that was downloaded into your head. Make sure it's something you are naturally inclined to, something you can be good at, and it's something that has an audience or a market, you know? Something that solves a real problem. And yeah, we're done with this video. I hope you finish it and you go kick ass. And I hope you really enjoyed it, because I enjoyed making it. Have a great life and stay awesome. Take care.